Hey guys, today we're going to have a look at how to make plain or dictionary forms of verbs. So the plain form is used when looking for verbs in dictionaries, and it's a more casual way of speaking as opposed to the must form. So in Japanese there are three types of verbs. We have group 1 verbs, which are u verbs. We have group 2 verbs, which are ru verbs, and then we have group 3, which are irregular verbs or verbs that don't fit into any pattern. So if we have a group 1 verb or an u verb, generally if there is an I sound before the mus, the verb is an u verb. So you simply change the last sound before mus from an I sound to the equivalent u sound and drop the mus. So what does this mean exactly? Well, for example, if we use the verb speak, which is hanashimasu, we can see here directly before the mus we have an I sound, which is shi. So what we need to do is change that shi sound to an u sound, which in this case will be su. So we change shi to su and we drop off mus. So as you can see at the very bottom here, the verb to speak in its plain form is hanasu. So this diagram here gives you an overview of the different bands of sounds in Japanese. So a band 1 sound is an a sound, a band 2 sound is an I sound, a band 3 is an U, 4 is an E, and 5 is an O. So what we're doing is we're moving our U verb from a band 2 to a band 3 sound. So in our previous example, we took shi down to su. For group 2 verbs or ru verbs, generally if there's an e sound or only one character before mus, the verb is a ru verb. And we simply replace mus with ru. So this is quite an easy conjugation. For example, if we use the verb to eat to start with, the verb to eat is tabemasu. So directly before mus we have an e sound, be. So this is how we can tell that it's a ru verb. So all we're going to do with our ru verb is we're going to drop off the mus and replace it with ru instead. In our second example, the verb mimasu is used, which means to look or to see. And in this case, we have only one character before mus, and that character is mi. So this is how we know it's a ru verb. So again, we're going to do the same thing as we did before, and we're going to remove the mus and replace it with ru to make it plain or informal. And then finally, we have our group 3 verbs, which are our irregular verbs, and there are no rules for these verbs. These two you just have to remember, but there is only 2 of them, so it doesn't make it too difficult. And those 2 verbs are the verb to do, which is shimasu, and the verb to come, which is kimasu. So shimasu changes to suru and kimasu changes to kuru. And finally, the plain form of des is simply da. So that's about all for this one, but if you have any questions or comments, please let me know.